Good morning. It's almost noon. Anyway, so to help my anxiety, I need a project. And it's so nasty outside that my yard stuff is done. I'm not going to do any projects out there. So I'm looking for a project, and I found one. It's going to take me all winter unless I have a fix for it. So I will show you. So my house was built in the 70s, and the doors are all this horrible dark brown. There are doors on here. I took them off because I'm working with those, but I want rid of it. This is our hall closet. It's the same. This was gold, and I painted it silver, but it's worn off. But all the knobs are different. So this one's gold. And I want to replace all the hinges too. If they're gold or any other color than silver or brushed nickel, I'm gonna replace those too. Coming out to the garage. It's the same. I don't want to replace this door because it's got the cat door drilled in, and we just got new locks and knobs for that one, so I don't know. But here is my my experiment. This is one of the covered doors, and I put some cheap stripper on it because I didn't know if it was going to work or not, and it's okay, but the amount of scraping that I'm having to do, and I don't want to get grooves in there. I'm going to sand this also. I don't know if I'm going to continue that route. That one I completely sanded with my sander, front and back. That's how I want it to look, and then I'm going to stain it a little bit darker than this, but not that dark. So I'm probably going to just end up sanding everything down. That might make the sanding a little bit easier, but it takes just as long because you put it on there and you got to wait an hour, hour and a half, then scrape it and then sand it. And I could be sanding for that whole hour while it's sitting there instead of letting it sit there for an hour and then coming back and sanding it for an hour. Probably just gonna sand it. I've been working with this varnish a little bit, and I was thinking that, because I only left it on for an hour and a half, scraped it, but I left it, so then I put another layer on, can't get this out, and put the plastic over it, left it on for like 3 hours, and it worked a little bit better. So now I'm like, I'll leave this shit on overnight. So this is what I've done. This is the closet door. The 70s closet door. It's like an accordion. And I have that varnish on there. And plastic wrap. And I have some on the other half of this that I started sanding. Excuse me, started sanding, and now I'll get the rest of it. So I'm gonna leave this overnight. See what happens. Remember my nice clean garage? It doesn't look like that anymore. Good Sunday morning. I'm gonna try out this varnish because I left it on varnish remover. I left it on overnight, so I'm gonna try it out. Kind of excited. I hope it works. Not too bad. I'll still have to do some sanding, but it might be easier. I guess we'll find out. I'm doing a second coat of varnish. I'm scraping what I can, and a lot of it's coming off, but it needs a second coat. So as I'm done scraping it, I'm putting on another layer of varnish and putting more plastic over it. So this is what I've scraped. More varnish, plastic, and now I'm gonna scrape this, and I'll put more varnish and more plastic on it. I keep forgetting to say remover, varnish remover. I'm not varnishing it, I'm removing it. Ignore me. This is the channel you watch when you're trying to figure out what not to do. I gotta tell you, in the 70s, they did this varnish right. Stain, I don't know what it is. There's like 20 layers, but it's been on there for 50 years. Now we wait. Gives my wrists a break. I might be getting the hang of this varnish remover. I put the layer on, scraped it, put another layer on, put the plastic over it. This has only been on here for a couple hours now, but I think it's doing pretty good. that's what happened.